What do Mr. Beast, Elon Musk, and Taylor Swift have in common? Besides their massive online followings, their faces have all been used in AI-powered deepfake scams, which tricked millions of people. Since the early days of the internet, scammers have been impersonating others to steal money and information. But from the moment ChatGPT was introduced, there's been a 4,900% increase in malicious phishing emails. With the rise of AI, scams are also getting more advanced than ever before. And the scary part is, this is super easy to achieve. At this very moment, AI scams are targeting your emails, news feeds, phone calls, and even business meetings. This is the evolution of AI scams.
An online network called Internet.
The Internet.
This Internet thing. What the hell is that exactly?
It's the mid-90s. A new sitcom called Friends is on TV. You are secretly blasting the Spice Girls on your Discman, and you've remembered to feature Tamagotchi. Life is simple. We didn't know it at the time, but that life was about to change for good. The first consumer websites such as Yahoo and eBay emerge, and the number of internet users is growing exponentially.
It's going to be one industry, and there'll be companies carrying bits, little pieces of information from point A to point B.
By 1996, 77 million people were using it, up from just 2.5 million 6 years before.
They gotta turn it on, they gotta check their email, they gotta have their fix.
I'm afraid that if I subscribed to something like internet, I would get hooked and I would never spend time with my family.
But not everyone is convinced. Many critics believe the internet is just a hype and will blow over in a matter of time.
Computers are supposed to make life easier. For many newcomers, PC stands for pain and confusion.
Wait, how does one, what do you write to it, like mail?
Allison, can you explain what internet is?
There is one group, however, that is convinced. Online scammers. The first online scams can be dated back to this very period. At the time, America Online, or AOL, was the most popular internet service provider and is similar to what Hotmail and Gmail are today. Scammers would pose as AOL employees and ask users to verify their accounts by providing their billing information. Since this was literally the first time such scams were happening, many internet users were easy prey and happily handed over their credit card information. These early online scams didn't involve AI, but as we'll see later in the video, that doesn't mean it wasn't in the works at this point. In fact, mathematician Alan Turing had been exploring the idea of machine intelligence as far back as 1941. However, after the first online scams in the mid-90s, it would take over 2 decades and a lot of innovation before the paths of scams and artificial intelligence would cross for the first time.
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence tricked by deepfake.
Using AI.
It's March 2019. The phone rings at Euler Hermes.
Hello, good morning, Rudy. How are you doing?
It's the CEO of their parent company in Germany.
Yes, good morning. Sorry for the directness, but I urgently need you to transfer 220,000 euros for a Hungarian supplier. I need it within the hour. Can you make that happen, please? It is very important.
It's an unusual request, but orders are orders. Besides, the voice of his boss on the other hand sounds authentic. It's the familiar German accent and the natural cadence of his voice. Under pressure, the UK executive transfers the money, but he has no idea that he's being tricked. It turns out criminals used AI software to clone the voice of his boss. It was a costly mistake, but who could blame him? Something like this had literally never happened before, and this incident marked the first time that AI was ever used to scam someone. But just a year later, the same technique was used again. This time, a branch manager of a Japanese company was convinced to transfer $35 million. In both cases, the attackers have never been caught. These incidents were a huge wake-up call. Voice cloning technology hadn't even become mainstream yet, but it was already being used for multi-million-dollar scams. So how did we go from simple phishing emails to sophisticated voice cloning scams?
Here is a world of communication, tailored for your needs of today and tomorrow, bringing together all people in a new era of understanding.
It's April 1962. The Century 21 exposition in Seattle is in full swing. It's a grand showcase of futuristic ideas and innovations. One of the big players at the event is IBM, and they have something huge in store, the Shoebox.
An experimental machine that recognizes the human voice.
I will now speak a few digits and commands to the machine to demonstrate its capabilities. 6, 7, 8.
And while it could only recognize 16 spoken words, it was truly groundbreaking for its time. Fast forward to the 1970s, and machines were getting much better at understanding speech. This was thanks to the hidden Markov model, a predictive algorithm. Previously, speech recognition systems had to process each sound in isolation, but now they could consider surrounding sounds to interpret a word's identity. Think of it like reading a smudged note. Even if some letters are missing, you can understand the word by looking at the others in the sentence. This new approach set the stage for consumer-friendly voice AI technology.
And a major development in the computer world today.
Dragon Naturally Speaking from Dragon Systems is the first general-purpose computer dictation program that recognizes natural speech.
What we're building toward is to humanize the computers, make them very natural to use. So yes, there'll be even more people that can use them.
We make a big leap and jump all the way to the 2010s. So far, AI advancements mainly focused on understanding language through speech to text, which was of course essential for computers to understand human language. But to clone a voice of a CEO, for example, you need text-to-speech.
Previously, this was always done with pre-recorded audio snippets blended together, which made voices sound very robotic and unnatural.
But as of 2012, the introduction of deep learning changed AI forever.
4 years later, an AI model called WaveNet was able to directly generate audio waveforms. Now computers were able to capture subtle details in speech, like pauses, inflections, and accents. This led to much more natural-sounding voices compared to the pre-recorded audio snippets.
Just 3 years after its release, this kind of technology was used to recreate the German accent of the CEO of Euler Hermes in the first known AI scam. But it would take another 3 years before the world was introduced to the most powerful consumer AI yet.
ChatGPT, overwhelming popularity of a new AI program.
A giant step forward.
ChatGPT, 100 million users.
The introduction of ChatGPT in November 22 was truly a watershed moment. For years, AI had only quietly been in our lives. Think of Facebook that automatically recognizes your friends in photos, and algorithms that recommend what to watch next. But ChatGPT was the first AI tool with incredible capabilities that came in the hands of the general public, and it obliterated the record books.
100 million users on ChatGPT in 2 months.
For comparison, it took the internet 7 years to reach 100 million users, and Facebook 4 years. People all over the world were now using AI on a daily basis to work more efficiently and enhance their workflows. But it was also a scammer's dream. Gone were the days of crude Nigerian prince inheritance scams, packed with spelling errors. Polished and convincing language was now available to everyone. Since the release of ChatGPT, cybersecurity firm SlashNext reports a 4,900% increase in malicious phishing emails. However, it wasn't only text-based scams that have evolved. You can't make a video about AI scams without talking about deepfakes. This technology has been in the works for a very long time, and one of the first examples is the Video Rewrite program in 1997.
Video Rewrite synthesizes video of a person mouthing words they never spoke.
This is Video Rewrite. My face is Ellen's. My voice is Michelle's. Ellen did not say these words. Michelle did. The lip sync is synthetic.
But the technology has come a long way since then, and it is now used in professional settings, such as big Hollywood productions. But you don't need a Hollywood budget to create a deepfake. I was able to create this relatively convincing deepfake just by downloading an app from the App Store. Again, this technology is a scammer's dream.
Gary Meechan lives a modest life in the idyllic Hunter Valley, in the town of Brogue. And now, thanks to an online scam, He's broke. In broke.
And I thought, well, this is pretty well safe.
But it wasn't safe. It was a deep fake AI-generated ad.
What's the difference between those scammers and me? First off, I'm Elon Musk, and I need nothing from you.
If you're watching this video, you're one of the 10,000 lucky people who'll get an iPhone 15 Pro for just $2.
Hey y'all, it's Taylor Swift here. Due to a packaging error, we can't sell 3,000 Le Creuset cookware sets, so I'm giving them away to my loyal fans for free.
And of course, this technology is also used to create deepfakes of politicians and steer political narratives. Also a serious problem, although it's very difficult to quantify the effectiveness of these campaigns.
Baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark.
The examples we discussed so far all concern pre-recorded content, but deepfake technology also works in real time.
Cost of doing business proved to be astronomical for a finance worker in Hong Kong who was duped into handing over millions of dollars after being tricked by deepfake technology during a conference call.
The man you see on the left of the screen is the fraudster. The man in the middle, whose identity is hidden, is the victim. The woman you see on the right side of the screen is what the victim is seeing on their screen. In other words, she's the deepfake. That's not a real person. That is a deepfake.
But it isn't just celebrities, politicians, and CFOs whose faces and voices are being copied.
Mom, I messed up.
Lay down and put your head back.
Mom, these bad men have me. Help me. Help me.
Listen here. I have your daughter. Don't tell anyone. Don't call the cops. I'm going to need $1 million.
This is what Jennifer De Stefano heard when scammers cloned the voice of her daughter.
It was my daughter's voice. It was her cries. It was her sobs. It was the way she spoke. I will never be able to shake that voice and the desperate cries for help out of my mind. It's every parent's worst nightmare to hear your child pleading with fear and pain, knowing that they are being harmed and that you're helpless.
And she's definitely not the only one who this happened to. According to a survey by the security company McAfee, a quarter of adults have experienced some kind of AI voice scam, and they are highly effective. 77% of victims said they had lost money as a result. According to the same McAfee survey, 53% of all adults share their voice at least once a week on the internet. Just by having access to a short audio clip of someone's voice stolen from an Instagram video, for example, you can now easily clone it. In fact, the voice you are listening to right now is not my actual voice, but an AI copy I made with 11 Labs. So if this is already happening today, it begs the question, what does the future hold? The first recorded scam dates back to 300 BC, when the Greek merchant Hagistratos tried to pull off a financial fraud. He took out a loan on his cargo and then sank his ship in order to keep the insurance money. Why is this relevant? It shows that deception is a deeply human trait. As new systems emerge, people inevitably find ways to exploit them. For Hagistratos, it was insurance, and for modern scammers, it's AI. It's very hard to predict what comes next, but one thing is certain. The worldwide cost of cybercrime is on a steep upward trajectory and is estimated to surpass $15 trillion, yes, with a T and 12 zeros, before 2030. And it's very sad that we now live in a world where it's hard to trust even a familiar voice on the phone or the face of a colleague in a video call. Sometimes I really do miss the simpler days, when I was still blasting CDs on my Discman. Thank you so much for watching. I really learned a lot from making this video, and I hope you learned something from watching it. And if you've made it this far, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, because it really helps me out a lot. And as always, I really hope to see you in the next one.